But of course, we're not going to be that sort of way.
We love everyone.
We do. But a man has a right to defend himself. Of course, that's really David Koresh. I got one of his CDs, eh? I got a David Koresh CD.
Yeah, I think he played it for me.
Yeah.
And he's like singing little songs.
And I think that everybody everywhere has fucked everything up. There was a dude who did have supernatural power named Jesus. After that, don't even talk to me. I've got to do more research. But by their own writings, this Koresh guy, he figured out that the Bible and all the churches are totally wrong. You know what I mean? And it was like, and it had to do with end times prophecy and Revelation and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really dangerous and everybody hated him. So I was looking at that and I'm like, so you always look at the stuff that everybody hates. That's why I'm like, sometimes people say, Sean, why do you read like white supremacist literature? Because I don't like white supremacists. I hate them. So I read what they have to say because I want to know what they're thinking. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. This is where this comes from. Know how they think. All starts and ends with the mind. With the mind. All starts and ends with the mind.
Shout out, lift up sword against nation. Neither shall they learn more anymore. Neither shall they learn more anymore. Night of the death ray, clear us away. Kill all the night time, seize the day. Spray laser light, let nature try again. Whoa, new solutions, it's too late. Let evolution clean the slate.
Hey, Sean, what are we doing today?
Today is the first day of spring, and being the first day of spring, that means that we have certain traditions as wogs we must uphold. Yes, the first day of spring means that you have to do your spring cleaning. The first thing you need to clean, of course, above yourself, is your clothing. Come with me. My wife is not home. During this tasking time, while she's away, I'll be exploiting this advantage of her not being here to throw out most of my clothing. The problem in our society is that we've become far, far too weak. We have a lot of shit that we don't need. For example, how many pairs of underwear do you need? Well, you need a lot. But really, who the hell's gonna wear these? You know, there's like who made this? How did underwear become this sorry, wretched thing? You know, it's going right next to your skin in your very private regions. This should be some high-speed shit. I wouldn't clean my car with this. And you got your Soma underwear, right? This is underwear I've had since I was in the army. And I know I should throw them away. I know I should, but I can't. You know, and a lot of women will be looking at this and will be like, there's t-shirts. Every guy's got them, you know? He's got the t-shirt that, Christ, and you had every intention when you walked in that room to throw that t-shirt away. I've gone, like, I saw them here, you know, even when we were filming today, I was going to throw these out on film today. You know, but I just can't. I can't do it. I can't throw them out. I don't know why. You can have as much underwear as you need. There's no regulation on underwear whatsoever. Always amass underwear. Socks. The great evil of the universe. Socks. Now, I keep my towel in my sock drawer so when I get up in the morning I can just throw it over my shoulder because socks are always the last thing I put on. Some people organize their socks. I think that's just a little too anal. You know, I think that at some point you have to give a little bit. I mean, you keep them in pairs, you know, you roll them up and you throw the other ones in. The wife does this, you know, she rolls up the socks, and I think that's insane. You know, you got to draw the line somewhere. Why would you roll your socks? Socks are okay, you can have as many socks as you want. However, and this is important, you must develop a personal hatred, a deep, intense, burning hate for socks with holes in them. You know what it is? You pull it on and the sock have a hole in it, and you'll be like, oh, I'll live with it, you know? I'll just go on my merry way, it won't be a problem, I'll just have my sock with a hole in it, and then it gets bigger, and somehow they breed, you know, and all these other, they infect your other socks. And no, anytime you see a sock with a hole in it, it must be destroyed, without fail, man. Okay, now we're into the t-shirts. T-shirts, you should have 7 pairs of T-shirts for your summer and winter dress. Being the first day of spring, you do a summer winter dress changeover. You have your winter dress, which you do on the first day of fall, and then you do summer dress, which is on the first day of spring. Today, it is raining like a bastard. Now, you need 7 T-shirts. That's a band shirt. It's not issue. Looks new, though. It's black. It's a nice color. Oh, but it has advertising on it. Oh, but the advertising that it has on it is for a band. Yeah, but .50, are they a known band? No. Has anybody heard of them? Shit! And this is the dynamic when we come to T-shirts. I've got a local band that I'd like to promote, but I don't want to walk around looking like a billboard. Fuck. Well, I'm wearing the RANT Radio shirt, but I've got a special extenuating circumstances there because I'm very deeply involved with RANT Radio, so that's kind of a pride thing. Wearing a T-shirt with a logo on it is kind of a cop-out for me, because how much .50 do I really listen to? I don't listen to a lot of them, you know? So they kind of put their brand on me, and essentially they gave me a T-shirt and said, hey, Sean, you can clothe yourself, but we're going to put our logo on it. That's kind of what they did there. Not that they're good guys. I had them on the show. They're good guys. And every time I wear that shirt, they would be making a statement about the band. So it's very important that you give a lot of thought about what goes on your clothes as a label, because people will label you with that, right? You're wearing Gap, and pretty soon, I mean, I say people who wear Gap, and you get an image in your mind. People who wear a garment of clothing, people who wear a brand of clothing, and now you know what kind of people they are? No, that's mind share. That's the mind share. That's core political using mind share to control how you're thinking. Okay, you got to get past that. Okay, you got to get back to basics. This, if you make it okay to have logos on T-shirts, it's a slippery slope. I don't want to be all carte blanche and say no logos on T-shirts. But this one here, the jury's out on this. So I'm going to leave this in the jury's out folder, which stays in the keep folder. And we've got the Canadian Airborne Regiment T-shirt. That stays. I got an old cult shirt. That's been. We've got a Ghost in the Shell, cool cyberpunk shirt. Binned. I think we'll have we got a Call of Cthulhu shirt with the, trusting Cthulhu and stuff like that. Well, Cthulhu, come on, man, he's a great outer god, and nobody really knows what that means. It's a logo for something that nobody knows what it means. A nice black T-shirt, that's got to stay. And I got a blank black T-shirt, that could probably stay too. And we got a bunch of other shirts here. I got a golf shirt. Who the fuck wears golf shirts? Actually, I'm gonna go get a garbage bag. Just 1 second here. All I'm allowed to have here. For essential kit, you gotta have basic. If you don't have these items, then you don't have a wardrobe, okay? You need 5 pairs of pants. At least 5 pairs of pants. You could go with 7 pairs of pants if you don't like shorts, but otherwise you need 5 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shorts. If you don't walk around shorts, I don't like the way I look. I look fat in shorts. Well, if you walk around outside in shorts a lot, you won't be fat for very long. 7 undershirts, which undershirts, of course, are T-shirts. That's what T-shirts are. You have an unregulated amount of, there's certain clothing that you're allowed to have as much as you want of. So we got another golf shirt here, which is a lie. Miskatonic University T-shirt. Nice! I was at Miskatonic for a very short period of time. I went down there and was attending a conference that they held in Arkham, Massachusetts. And they're an interesting bunch of guys. They're good people. I didn't get a chance to look around much. I didn't get a restricted access stack or nothing like that. But I know some people there, and I think in our journeys we'll probably wind up going there again. Thermal clothing. Okay, thermal clothing you keep, but it's winter dress. Another undershirt, olive drab type. A blue, nice blue shirt. Look how blue it is. Then, now, that's my T-shirt drawer. Oh, cool. I kept a garbage bag for the other stuff. That's foresight for you. We'll put this in the winter dress. I gotta do winter dress again later, so for now, when you're doing this on the first day of spring, don't be in a big rush to throw everything out, because I'm gonna go through that pile again and see whether or not I'm gonna keep it. Oh, yeah. That's the clothing I've been keeping that I'm going to be converting to. Okay, what do we got? Shorts. Trashed. Okay. And we got a bunch of shit in here. Look at this crap. What is this? Fucking garbage. Get it gone. 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 Fucking gone. Who the fuck wears those? Gone. Pants. Wet pants. Whew. Yeah. Look at the dog hair on those. Hot damn. Yeah, would I actually wear these working out? Or would I walk around and act like I'm all a hip-hop gangster guy? You know? What the fuck? Okay, so we're done. So we got so far, my wardrobe consists of some T-shirts and a Kung Fu outfit. Now this means that whenever you meet me, you're welcome to call me on it because this is all the clothing I have. After all the clothing is done, I'm not just taking it, filing it. No. It goes into the winter dress folder, or it goes, well, pretty much into the dumpster. Well, not the dumpster, but you know, those clothing donation things. All right. Pants. 7 pairs of pants, I believe, is no, it's 5 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shorts. Good Marpat desert wear, gotta have that. a hat of summertime dress. You always must have a boonie hat, but I'll be getting the boonie hats later. Okay. Shirt with a beer company logo on it. You're gone. We got Hawaiian shirts. Now, Hawaiian shirts, like old underwear and certain t-shirts, have soma. You have to be very careful with Hawaiian shirts because they have a lot of power. You have to respect Hawaiian shirts. If there was one thing that I would say would be a WOG symbol, I would probably say a Hawaiian shirt would be in there somewhere. You know what I mean? If you would have a photograph of the ultimate WOG, I think on some level he'd have to be wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I'm pretty sure about that. This particular one is too small for me, so it's been. We got some shorts here. Hey, first pair of shorts. I have a desert issue t-shirt. Oh, a white t-shirt. Always have a white t-shirt. Always. Just plain white t-shirt. Okay, so we still need one more t-shirt. I'll put the .50 in there for now, because we'll do it later. That gives me 7 t-shirts. This goes in the t-shirt bin. Okay, Hawaiian shirts. You can have up to 7 Hawaiian t-shirts. You can't have more if you find good ones. So I'm just going to start filing in there. 1 Hawaiian shirt. This one's a good one. 2 Hawaiian shirts. So here, Hawaiian shirt, the quality of a Hawaiian shirt. Hawaiian shirts should cause pain upon the mind. There's a Russian word. That word is lumshavuk. And loosely translated into English, lumshavuk means thing that hurts my head, which causes you to access things on a level you probably don't understand. So any Hawaiian shirt, by nature, has soma and should be like a lumshavuk. You know, like look at that, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4, this was not bad, 5, 6. Does this qualify as a Hawaiian shirt?
Well, barely.
Barely?
Barely.
Yeah, it's got some soma though. I've had it for a while. I'm allowed 7. Okay,
Allowed 7, keep that one as a 7.
Yeah, 7. Okay, we got the shirt issue sorted. Pants. 1. Blue jeans. So I'm going to keep blue jeans because blue jeans are there. So we got 2 pairs of pants here. 1 pair of shorts. Kung Fu pants. The infamous Kung Fu outfit. That's when you wear that, by the way. When you're not going outside, when you get up in the morning, this should be the clothing that you wear to like stretch in, do your exercise in. Very, very comfortable. It's for indoor use only. It's not for public witnessing. I prefer the Kung Fu outfit because, you know, you can't fuck with 6,000 years of Japanese engineering. So, we got another pair of pants here. These are Canadian Combats. Always good. Gotta have them. So we got 3 pairs, 1, 2, 3. The one exception is work clothing. I am so gracefully employed that I happen to work for a security company. So that means I get to wear this clothing anytime I want, pretty much, which is fun. So, but black combat pants are pretty much my security dress at work. So that's work clothing. Vests. This is technically outerwear and therefore not constituted as part of personal wardrobe. This is a coat, and this is actually a desert vest. So when we get to the coat segment sometime, we'll do coats, but vests have the same ruling as Jagger. You have a summer vest and a winter vest. This is my summer vest, so this stays. Another white t-shirt. I need another white t-shirt. .50 loses to a white t-shirt. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Sorry, guys. Japanese manga biker wear. Now this is popular. Now what this is here, is a poster that they put onto a shirt in an attempt to make Hawaiian shirts. And these are evil. Okay, if it's not a Hawaiian shirt, it's not a Hawaiian shirt. Ooh, desert pants. Nice. This is handy for the civilian life. This is great. Because, see, my wife is not a WOG, so I've got to kind of... It's great for you as viewers because you'll be able to see me try to live my life being civilian. So I'll look a lot like a narc. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Okay, very few garments of clothing will I ever fucking stand up and sit down and say, dude, you gotta buy a pair of these. You have to buy a pair of these. These are the shorts I wore at Burning Man. Okay, Burning Man has since told us that we're horrible people, and by distributing free art to everyone throughout the web, we've completely gone against the spirit of Burning Man, and we're very sorry. And you know, so we can't distribute our stuff anymore about Burning Man, even though it was probably pretty nice, and I actually got a lot of really positive feedback from it. And it's a shame, but I guess Burning Man isn't about that. So that's okay. But when I was at Burning Man, because that was 2 years ago. When I was at Burning Man, they were really cool. And they were really cool people back then. I was walking around wearing these, and these, like, I'm talking in that desert, which is an alkali acid, everything's all double stitched. These are the chocolate chip shorts, and these ones aren't even reinforced in the ass. They're just, oh man. The company that makes them, I'll give you the company that makes them. Is this Issue? Yeah, this one's Issue. Nice, it wasn't made. There's a company that makes them. But this is an extra large short. You can zoom in on this label. Extra large short, inseam 26 to 28 inch or whatever. So these shorts, these are like, those shorts, like these ones will rot off my body. I have a lot of soma in there. 7 pairs of pants. Einstein, a lot of people are like, Sean, you're so fucked. No, dude, Einstein had 7 sets of the same pair of clothes. 7 sets. Why did I come up with 7 as a number? Einstein. Yeah, that's what he did. Why? Because he didn't have time to worry about the bullshit that society puts on clothing. So you got to take a lesson from Einstein. So anyway, we got the shorts, pants. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of pants. Thermal vest. Now, a lot of people go, "Hey, Sean, isn't that thermal?" Yeah, but it's a vest. You only wear thermal vests in the summertime. Thermal vest is specialty gear. This is actually a piece of equipment. Okay, that's how you can tell. If it's something that's designed for purpose, this is to be designed as field gear. This is the kind of thing that you put in your backpack. It's just a standard fleece vest. I'm looking for a logo. Is there a logo on it? No, I cut the logo off. Good. This is how you sanitize your gear. But there was a label here at one point. And what you do is you just cut the label off, and then you wear the clothing anyway. Yeah. And some people are like, well, people make fun of me if I'm not wearing Gap. Yeah, but you're not wearing anything. You're just wearing a vest. Anyone who make fun of you about the clothing you wear, you make a mental note of that person in your mind. You form a perfect picture of what they look like and who they are, and then you never, ever have anything to do with them ever again because they're idiots. This is a pinnacle moment because there's clothing everywhere. All of that stuff there is leaving. So really, all the clothing I own right now that is current is right here. This is it. This is the whole gig. This is all the clothes I have, other than some shirts. Let's pull that out. 2, 3. This is it. That's the whole 9 yards, baby. And it's not a lot, is it? You know? Why would you be buying clothes that don't work? Anything that's a physical material item is what does it do, how well does it do this, and if you're worried about the level of technology, think about how small it is. But yeah, other than that, there's really no reason whatsoever in the WOG mind to have excess crap. Because the things that you own don't own you, but what they do is they can be used against you. The less you have, the less they can take away. So make sure the stuff you keep is what's important. You've only got so much attention. So focus on the things that are important, like your wife, like your girlfriend, like whoever. You've got to focus on that. You've got to focus on what's important to you. You got to forget what other people say. Voltaire had it down, man. He said, to care what other people think is to be controlled by them. And that's bang on. But we forget that, and we make exceptions to that rule. But there's no place for that anymore. Things have gone too far. We need to get control of it. So I'm going to take this clothes now, and I'm going to take them down and donate them to a good cause. Don't throw clothes away. Never destroy. You got to focus on what's important. You got to get back to the fundamentals here, man. That's the idea. Anyway, let's get these down to the where the hell? One of them donation joints. So the first thing you got to do is you got to find yourself, after you got your bag full of clothing that you're no longer keeping, you find yourself a clothing bank, and then you just drop in there and drop off your clothing bank stuff. And that's it. You dropped all your kit off, no problem. Good people will be able to use that kit now. Nothing is wasted. Perfect. So, in order to take care of your shoes, you have to build yourself a shoe cleaning, shoe maintenance kit. Now this is something that any soldier around the world will have. This is kind of a combination kit. I've just got this in a high-tech Magnum box, but I'm probably going to wind up going in an ammo can. The covers come off. This will wind up becoming my shoe shine kit. Transferring across, you keep old Kiwi cloths. Now, Kiwi cloths, this is a Kiwi cloth. Kiwi, these guys here, have been making shoe polish since the dawn of time, okay? Seriously, these guys have an autographed copy of the fucking Bible. You want to always have a couple of brand new Kiwi cloths in your shoe shine kit. There are people who make cloths that are like Kiwi cloths. Oh, it's the same thing. No, they're not. They have to be Kiwi cloths. I don't know why that is. I tried other brands that are cheaper. It doesn't work. You're gonna need to get yourself an old toothbrush. You need an applicator brush. You wanna have a boot brush. Your leather care kit should have some saddle soap. To look after the leather, you should use saddle soap, and this is when your leather gets really shit-kicked. When you've taken all the finish off of it, you want to go put some saddle soap on it to kind of restore it. Of course, now it has to be Kiwi brand shoe polish. If it is not Kiwi shoe polish, throw it away. It's crap, okay? First of all, you need a glass jar that's clean. So let's just head over to the kitchen and we'll check that out now. The first thing you want to get your hands on is a glass, probably a salsa jar. It's good, and this is where you keep your water. when you're doing your boots, you need water, and it has to be really cold water. This is the way that I was taught in the Canadian Forces to do it, and this is probably the oldest, most reliable way. Canada learned to do this from England, and God knows where England learned to do it. You want to get as cold water as you possibly can. So you get yourself a glass jar, make sure it's clean. Get it clean, clean, clean. Super clean, drinkable, ice cold water. Now, when you're working, the first thing that's going to happen is your boots, these boots look like hell. So I'm going to show you what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to take your laces out of your boots. Next thing you need to do is you got to get the mud off the boot. You're not going to be able to care for nothing with all the shit on the boot. Get yourself a high-speed jet hose. Blast most of the dirt off that you can. You want to make sure you get all the mud off because mud is nothing more than small, tiny particulates. So you want to rub it. You actually got to get in there with a cloth and get this as clean as you can. Some people use an old boot brush. You can do this in a bathtub or wherever. Get it on there. Get all the crap off the boot. Vibram soles, oil-proof, slick-proof soles. Give her a quick wipe. Doesn't take too long. That's pretty much good. That's only about as clean as it needs to be. Now, before you get started, get yourself some propaganda, lay it out here on the floor. Take your boots, your towel. You want to make sure you get most of the excess moisture off. It's a good deal to make sure they're totally dry, but if you haven't got the time and you haven't washed them off before you came in the house like you were supposed to, get them to a reasonably dry state. Usually, most Kiwi, when you're putting on your base coat, your average can of Kiwi polish looks like this. Very, very hard. Kiwi polish is made of like a dye, the actual stuff they use to treat the boot, the actual polish material itself, and alcohol. There's alcohol inside of this. Alcohol is flammable. Now, alcohol also evaporates. So what we're going to do is you need your lighter to apply your base coat. See, since there's so much alcohol in the Kiwi polish, you have to light it on fire. This will burn quite readily. The alcohol catches and begins to go. Okay, now you're going to let that fire spread, and what it's doing is the alcohol will burn and cause the polish to go to a very, very liquid format. While that's getting ready to go, you grab out your application brush. Keep this thing handy, okay? Now you want to be careful. This is alcohol. It's a very dangerous thing to do. Your smoke alarm's going to go off. When you're ready to put it out, you just cut off the air supply as such. You pick up your boot, your applicator brush, dip it in there while it's still liquid real fast, smear it on the boot. All up in here, make sure, this is why the laces have to be gone. This is an integral part of your boot. Put it around the sides. You gotta go fast, otherwise it gets back to a solid state and you won't get the absorbency. The hot alcohol and the wax suck it into the boot. Now you'll notice that with the boot, okay, so we got the base, you gotta leave it for a little bit. When you're done, seal this back up. Now your hands are gonna get dirty while you do this. That's okay, it shows you're honest in your work. Use your old Kiwi cloth as your rag. If you start using your towel as your rag for your shoes, your wife will fucking kill you. As this cools, more alcohol leaves, and as the alcohol leaves, it creates a protective layer on the boot. This is what the purpose of polish is. You let it dry. Let it dry, no problems. Next, out of the boat, take one of these. This is a boot brush. You take the boot brush and you simply go over the boot, just to get the excess off. We're not going whole hog on it here. We're just getting the excess off. Next stage, after you've got the polish on that, you want to make sure you do inside the welts. Take out this is your secondary coat of polish, okay? We're still on the secondary. Take your toothbrush, put it in there. You got to get in the welts. The welts are the spaces of the shoes. This is where the actual stitching of the boot is. Got to get the welts done. After, again, you put on raw polish with a brush. Now use the big brush again to smooth it out. Make sure, again, get up on the inside. This area here is the most forgotten part. It's where the most of the wear comes on the boot. If you were to do this once a week, your boots would last you 10 years. Well, but wait, Sean, the insoles would wear out in 10 years. Well, when you're dealing with high-quality boots, you don't throw away the boot, you keep the boot, and you pay $40 to get a new insole put on. As these insoles wear down, this whole piece here pops off. There's a padding layer that goes in. You take it to a tailor, these people who have existed for hundreds of years, and you get them to put on a new sole. $30 later, you're back to a brand new boot. No more disposable society. Look at that. Oh, muffin. The boots, at this stage, you continue to brush them until they're at a stage where you're happy with and you're like, okay, now the boot is good. And you're able to look at the whole thing, it's clean, you've got the polish all done, you get inside the welts. Now it's just a matter of doing this until it appears dry. Whenever you take your laces out of your boots, you put the lace inside the boot that it belongs to. What lacing is supposed to be a way for you to tie up your boots so that they're effective. The lacing system that I use is a sport lacing system, which is designed in case you need to get the boot off and you do not wish to damage the boot. You can cut the boot off. It's a little bit tricky, so you got to pay attention on me here. The first one goes over the top, then it comes underneath, and it goes up and over. Okay? So anytime that you're going up, you always are going on an angle in the same direction. If you want to be totally tricky about it, you can make sure that that your lace is kept flat. Okay, after you get that one done, the next one you come underneath. You come underneath on this one, and then you go underneath again over here. Yeah, this is where it gets a little tricky. The goal here, the reason why you have to do that is because you do all the laces wind up kind of going up in the same direction. Okay, and it gives an effect that your boots have stripes. Okay, so this is how your boots look when they're all laced up. You use conflicting lines going on the upside so you get kind of a sergeant stripe effect, okay? The reason for this is because if ever you need to get your boots off in a hurry, if you were to damage your boot in any way, they got to get that boot off. Rather than cutting everything in the field, you take your knife, you run your knife up over the tops of the laces like this. All the laces are cut. You can peel the boot back without a problem. That is what it does. This is why you lace it this way. Okay. Well, how do you tie your boots? Answer, you don't. You do what's called captain bars. This is the way captain bars look. They're simply, you take the two ends of the boots, after you've laced it up, you tighten everything by pulling on these, you get it all nice and tight and snug. Not super tight. Your boot's gotta be able just snug. You take the top of each one, you throw it through each eyelet. One over like this, back over across to the other eyelet. While you've got your boots, you're there, you snug it up tight around your foot, and then you tuck these down inside the boot, so your laces are not flopping around. Nothing's worse than a boot with combat laces. That's why you never see spec ops, you can never even see their laces, because they do captain's bars. As your boot flexes, these will loosen, and it will loosen your boot to the perfect snug fit. You do not tie your boot. If you're finding that this does not work because of the type of boot you have, then you tie it, but when you tie it, you make sure you tuck the knot in. Now I'm going to do the same thing again to these really shit-kicked old Garrison boots you can probably find in a thrift store. Okay, see, take a good look at those toes. Right in close on the toes, eh? Yeah, look at them, that's how they work. Okay, now I'm going to just get these boots to where those boots were at. If I was to assign a formal WOG boot, which I think is the best looking combat boot, it is a Garrison style boot. Okay, these are Garrison boots, these are Canadian Garrison boots. They're also called paratrooper boots from the Second World War. If you're looking for a showy boot that you can wear to the punk concert, or if you're going to wear out downtown or something like that, these boots look amazing when polished properly. But if they're not polished properly, you look like a skid. Okay, so if you're going to put the effort in, you want to put the effort in on these boots. Now, the problem here is to get a mirror shine on these, we look back at the toes, and although the toes both look better now, the judging of the boot is done by the toe. So, oh, look at all the pits and marks and everything. What do? Well, you polish it at this point, you repeat the process. You take your lighter and you do it again. Now, you've got these boots, you've got this coating on them. Where do we go now? The refrigerator. If you're doing a major boot resto, quite often they'll warm them up on low in the oven and they'll put the boots in there before you even begin the procedure. Heats the leather, lets them suck in the polish. I usually find that if you've had new boots that's for boots that are really far gone, like holy crap, they're trashed. You can do that. I've never let a boot go to that stage. When you're healing all the holes, you smooth it out, and then, in order to let it harden faster, you put your boots in the freezer and you let the cold work their magic with the polish. After they've been in the freezer for, 15, 20 minutes, the polish should be pretty hard, so when you brush it, it won't move around so much. And you can keep filing on it, just really light brushing as though you're like polishing glass. Right, now, to get a glass shine, that deep glass shine, you need a new kiwi cloth or an area of a kiwi cloth that has not been touched. You take the cloth, you take 2 fingers, you pull up the cloth over your fingers like this, so it's hanging over these 2 fingers. You take the cloth, you twist it. You take the cloth, then wrap it around your hand so you hold it in place. That's how you hold the cloth. You take the ice water and your new can of kiwi polish. You've got the boot clean already. You've got a new clean piece. There's no dust to scratch the finish on the actual boot itself. You dip the 2 fingers in the cloth. Now, it won't absorb, so you have to pat it on the back of your hand. Okay, you got to pat it on the back end so you can feel the water. You see how it's wet there now? A little bit wetter than that. Get this to a certain dampness where you touch the side of your face, and it shouldn't leave residue on the side of your face. It should just feel damp. Right now it's too wet. I'm leaving stuff there. The reason for that is just the right amount of water that's cold causes the polish to solidify quickly, and it provides lubrication for the wax on your fingers. Now, you don't press hard. That's the thing. You put a little bit of wax on, you go turn on your headphones and put on Ministry, and then you play a song from Ministry's box set called Fucked, okay? And then all you do is you start on one side and you do little circles the same way over the whole boot. Not too heavy, not too soft, over the whole boot. Okay, now I've got a ton of polish and a ton of water. So what are you going to do? Well, we got to work the water off. How do you do that? You do circles. You continue to do this for an hour. Okay. Now, when the circles start getting, like you can't really see them, widen the circle and go over large areas. But this is right near the end where, you know, you got it turns into a real polish now. Now you're like doing what you think you do with, like, think of your polishing like fine china. Okay, so now that we've got all the circles gone, we've worn it in, we breathed on it last few strokes to get it down. Okay, good deal. That looks like it's getting a bit of a shine. Great, so now what? You do it again. Okay, now we've gotten it to the point where, you know, you're putting like microscopic amount of water on there to shine it on. Then you dry it down. You probably got the air point. So and Sim doesn't want to film me doing this anymore. So we're just going to show you where we're at right now. This is a good start.
This is where I'm usually at when people go, if you put the boot on this here now, okay, I don't know if you can see that. How's that coming through on the tape? That look okay or what? Okay, so that's how you do a boot, okay? And now you do it to the rest of the boot and the other boot, and both shines have to match right, otherwise you look like a clown.
So the question is, what is a wog? What does a wog do? Like, why? What is a wog? How does it happen? Now, there's a Scientology version. What the Scientologists called wogs is like a slur. And it was a racial term that they would use for undesirables. Is what a wog is. But I've taken the term wog and I've kind of run with it here. I think that wogs are people who live by their own codes and actually have codes that they choose that they don't answer to anyone. And they're independent, so they're like a ronin, you know, like the old samurai, the masterless samurai. So that's what a wog is, a ronin, but he's not a violent man. Violence is horrible. Anyone who knows anything about violence will tell you that. So, yet he's, in a way, he's a seeker and a peaceful warrior. So I'd say that a wog would be a ronin of an exploration-based culture, not a capitalist culture. Because our culture we have here is capitalist, and it's fucking everything up. You know, this is the world here. This is what the world looks like. This is what Earth looks like. This is it, right there. This is the area we live in. I mean, it's raining and it's wet, but it's beautiful and there's life everywhere. But we focus on these crazy little cities, and we're destroying the planet, and nobody seems to dig that, you know, maybe we've got a higher purpose in life without getting into, you know, psycho-religions and Jesus wants us to blow up Israel and whatever, you know? I don't think, there's a whole lot more to the planet than just Israel. There's a whole lot more world than Middle East. You know, there's people dying all over Africa and everything. There's all kinds of shit everywhere. Now, Charles Fort, you know, the guy who did 40 in Times, he was this amazing dude who thought up that science, as we understand it, was actually mind control. He thought that there's so many things that happen that are paranormal, that don't fit into science, that science is wrong, and it's wrong on such a fundamental level. Like, what if magic was real? What if I could prove that there was a Bigfoot? What if we could prove there were dinosaurs that were walking around? Does that mean science is wrong? Well, yeah. Does that mean the Christians are right? Well, no. That means something else is right. And being a wog means you're afraid to face that, so we seek the truth. That's the purpose of being a wog, is to seek. You're supposed to find knowledge, and knowledge is power. And we use that for the greater good of everybody. And that's why we wear the get, all the gear and the kit and the setup. So no matter what happens, we're ready for it. We can help people. This is the concept of why we do what we do. What I intend to do is I intend to get to the bottom of a lot of these things. I want to seek knowledge and take you on the trip with me. I want to go out there. I want to go find Bigfoot. I'm going to do it. I live in BC. I've got all the gear. Why not? Nobody's done it properly. They've never run a proper alert mission for a Bigfoot. Never happened. But in order to do these kind of things, you get the real answers, to really go for yourself, to look for yourself, to ask the right questions, and then have Sumerian film it so I can give it to you. No one's done that because everyone wants to make money with it. I'd like to make some bucks too, but you know what? I got a nice little house. I'm all right. I can live like that for a while. But I think it's kind of bigger than that, you know? And I know it's... Anyone who knows anything about filming and sees what we do will go, yeah, well, they're not making money. And they always ask the same, why are you doing it? Why you're not making any money? Why are you doing it? Well, because we want to make a difference. And the only way we can make a difference is by taking these ideas, these concepts, this mental virus, and giving it to you so that you can adapt it and you can go do what you want with it. But no, because if you adopt the ideas and techniques of WOGs, you become a WOG and become part of the solution, not part of the problem. And then we can really start to do stuff. My name is Sean Kennedy, and I am the fucking man.
So you say you gotta know why the world goes around, and you can't find the truth in the things you found, and you're scared shitless cause evil abounds. Come join